Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Kelly Garden YouTube channel. I'm Bridget, and today we're going to do a check-in on my worm composting in my raised beds, or vermicomposting. First, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell if you haven't already, so you can grow along with Kelly Garden this season. And if you enjoyed this video, if you could tap that like button, we'd appreciate that too. Alright, so we're going to jump into these beds. We've actually had a wicked hot spell. I'm in Southern California. It's gotten up into the high 90s, low 100s here. So not only have I had to watch my plants really do some deep watering in the morning and use some shade cloth to protect them, I also had to worry about my poor little worms and just to make sure that it stays cool enough for them in the beds. Now, if you want to go back and see the video I did before, it'll show you how I put it together, the containers I'm using, and why I decided to put them in my bed. So let's jump in. We're going to look at it, and I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, the ugly about how this is all coming together. So first, I actually covered my little containers, and I covered it partly because I didn't like that big white thing. You can cover it with soil, but I also covered it with something that I thought would weigh it down a little bit, because sometimes they start to push up, the roots start to push my little beds up, my little containers up. So I put something kind of heavy just on one, and I actually like it. I think that it helps keep it down, but I also think that it helps with temperature a little bit. Now, so far, they are actually doing pretty good. I checked them this morning. I went in and I made sure to feed them before the hot spell. But I went in and I was looking at a couple of things. One thing I wanted to look at was moisture. How's the moisture? Because I did some heavy watering and I wanted to make sure that not only is it moist enough, but there's not too much moisture in it. And actually, these beds are great. Really good. I like the moisture. It looks really nice. The worms seem to be happy in here. Let's see if I can grab a few. And I saw some this morning, so that's probably why they're hiding from me now, because I disturbed them this morning. I've got some little ones that are just starting, which is always nice to see. That means that I have some new worms coming in. So far, so good. The other thing, again, I wanted to check temperature. So I really just use a kitchen meat thermometer to kind of check to see where we're at. And it says I'm at about 80 degrees, 82 degrees. I think this thermometer is a little off. I think it's actually a little bit cooler than that, but that's fine. Not too hot. The good thing I think about putting it in your bed is that I think that it allows the worms to go and leave that little location, go deep into the bed if it starts to get too warm. So I really like that about having it in the beds. I also like that the worms are going through and they're aerating the soil, plus leaving their droppings all throughout the bed. Now I do like that I have the worm castings in a convenient place where I can go in here and start sifting them out and get some really nice, beautiful soil to add to my beds. But the worms are doing the work the entire time, so even if I don't grab this soil or the worm castings in this soil, I'm still getting the benefit of them. So I think that that's great. So there are quite a few things I like about having the worm composting in the beds. And the other positive, and I'm going to be completely honest, full disclosure here, these worms would not be alive if they weren't in the bed. I'm not sure that I am the best at feeding them all the time. So I think I think that the fact that they're in the beds has helped them quite a bit. I do notice if I'm not feeding them as much, you don't see as much worm activity, so they are regulating themselves. Now, a couple of things that I don't like about having them in the beds. One is that it takes up room. I'm greedy. I want that room to plant. And even though I'm not taking up a lot of space, I'm still taking up some. So that kind of drives me crazy a little bit. The other thing is all these holes in the sides. I love that the plants can grow into the container. I think that's great. But the negative is that, yeah, the container itself gets crazy root bound, especially if it's near something like a tomato plant, which actually all 3 of mine are. So those roots grow in there and it starts to get a little crazy in there. Now, another thing I've noticed is that worms... Okay, you, stop it. Titan has an opinion. That worms don't like tomatoes. They're a little acidic, maybe that's why, but anytime we put tomatoes in here, they do nothing with those tomatoes. So they're not big fans of tomatoes, and I had a few that I put in here and they don't touch them. But overall, this bed and this worm compost looks really, really good. You can see the roots in here. They're from that tomato plant. This actually doesn't look too bad. I have another one that is really, really root bound. The other thing I found in here, and I found them the other day, I found little roly-polies in here, and I pulled those out. I don't want the worms, I don't want anything else in here but worms. But I said in the last video, the one thing that's kept some of my gnats and things like that down is that I really mix the food scraps in with the soil so it doesn't just sit on top, and that has really helped keep some things down. So that's good. But overall, pretty good. These guys did great in this heat wave. And now, of course, I'm on video and I can't find any worms in here because I messed with them earlier. This is, I mean, they've got a few things in here. They got some blueberries. They got quite a bit in here to feed on right now. It's looking pretty good though. Looking pretty good. Now, one of the companies that does this, if you don't want to do your own containers, I did use a food grade container. One of the companies that does this is Subpod. I didn't use Subpod because they were way too big for my beds. Now, I just saw that they introduced a mini Subpod, so I'm going to go check that out and see if that'll work for me. Again, my beds are expensive real estate, right? I want to grow in them. So I want to make sure that whatever I use, I love the idea of having in the beds. I just don't want it to take up a lot of room. The other thing I mentioned in my last one was that I didn't cut out the bottoms of my little containers, and I thought that I might need to at some point, but honestly I don't. Those worms go in and out of their own accord, so I haven't had an issue. Oh, I think I found some worms. Did I find some? Where's that more roots? So just holes in the sides and the bottoms have been enough for this bed. But so far, I really like it. I mean, I love the soil in here. Now, sifting it out, I have a very small container, so going in and sifting out the worm castings, that's a lot of work. Hasn't worked out for me. This starts to get pretty full as everything is breaking down. So what I do is I just grab the soil, I sift it for worms, I put the worms back in, and I just take all of it. I'm not really looking for the worm castings per se. This is almost, just a really good compost to me. And then I sprinkle that in my beds as opposed to sifting for just worm castings. So that's a different way to do it. So would I do this again? Absolutely. I'm glad I did it. And even though it's taking up precious real estate, I think it's great. And I've enjoyed having it in the beds. I do think it's beneficial. Still, you're going to use your compost. I have a compost bin. I'm still composting. I'm still adding organic nutrients and minerals. It's not going to take the place of that, but I still think it is really, really beneficial. So if you haven't watched the other video or you're looking to do this yourself, go ahead and check that out. I will let you know if I try out the SubPod Mini to see if that really works. It's just a buy it, put it in, and then be done with it type of thing instead of doing it yourself. But so far so good. So I'm excited with it. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that now and hit that notification bell. There's a lot of great contributors on the Kellogg Garden channel. There are contributors from East Coast to West Coast, some that have small spaces like mine. We have an urban farmer on an acre. She's a seed farmer. All sorts of different ideas and different ways to do things. So definitely go check out the channel. And again, if you like this video, please tap that like button. It helps people find us. All right, thanks so much for joining me, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Happy gardening.